Victorian Mixed Ultimate Championship. We're coming to you live from Traralgon Victoria. As Half Moon, the reigning champions, take on the up-and-coming Adley's Eshays.
Away here at the Victorian Mixed Ultimate Championship 2025. Coming to you live and free on ulti.tv. Simon Talbot here, keeping you company this morning. We are underway with quarterfinal action. We see Bill Foreman shooting long for the first look at the first score to Anna Rossler. And after themselves on the board as quick as you like. Taking a 1-0 lead. So we're bringing you coverage free all weekend on YouTube. Thanks to the support of Ultimate Victoria and Latrobe City Council. We're down at Traralgon West Sporting Complex. Traralgon, about 2 hours east of Melbourne in the beautiful Latrobe Valley. As we see there, the shot from Foreman. So Half Moon, the number 1 seeds, the reigning champions, the reigning national champions, tournament favourites today. It's our first to beat this weekend. Of course, many recent Australian representatives on this team. And Adley. It's a good mix of experience from clubs. Displayed great chemistry so far this weekend. They went 2-1 yesterday in pool play. Their way through to a quarterfinal berth. Carol Lamar with the pool. With the Eshays with their first look at offence. Chow. To Mango. Very deep. Howden. Taking control of things. Howden streak deep. And what? And Coco Manguy has salvaged that one. Aren't they happy about it? Somebody mark Coco. Well, he locked and he got a fingertip on that one. Slow it down. Good 40 metres. Was 3-on-1 coverage. Ollie Lachlan went up early, but Coco Manguy started behind the disc, covered about 50 metres to make a play on that goal. One ball. Of course, other quarterfinals underway this morning. Southern Hills Summit at Adobo, we saw the almost darkness. Won 3 games on Universe Point yesterday. So we're seeing how far they can all weekend. They're powered by UltiScore this weekend. If you search Ultimate Victoria Ulti, they're keeping live scores on all fields from all games all weekend. Phillips, Valancourt. Lots of cuts coming towards. Swings back to Valancourt. Wants to keep moving laterally. Finds Phillips. Deep. And he's going to have to toe the line. He goes up early. Field awareness there. And Rob Andrews with his first goal. So Half Moon yesterday only conceded 10 goals in ball play and crossover games, so 10 goals in 3 games. With Wes Stroh 8 goals. This Cat Phillips with 11 assists. And Reagan Turner getting on the end of 6 goals today. So they're the players to watch for in this game. 2-1 yesterday. He's been their main thrower. He's 12 assists so far this weekend. And main guy and Aman Jassel with 7 goals. Of course, yesterday, if you were watching, we had overcast skies and blustery winds all day, but it is almost the exact opposite today. We and to speak of. A bit of a shootout. Holden to Swan. They're setting up on the horizontal stack. Holden with the attacking cut. He's got a couple heading deep. Not much coming towards him. And first shot at a break. Reagan Turner heads out and around. Rob Swan getting horizontal, getting his fingertips on it. I think the throw was looking. So Adley's Eshays. Half Moon really closing down these throwing lanes. Difficult to get anything moving. Line. News out, and Sla on the doorstep now, looking for their first break. Lee with a nice easy undercut. Put the first break in to go up 3-1. So the very fastest movement from Half Moon. They've a lot of players coming from the Ellipsis Open and Women's teams, and also having played recent Australian rep campaigns together. So extremely high chemistry among this crew. They find space in attack space well. You'll rarely see them with a stall count of more than about 2 or 3. They would rather keep the disc moving than let defense set at all. So again, showing why they're the #1 seed at this tournament. And of course, they've got their eyes looking towards the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships later this year in Queensland, with the top 3 teams from this tournament qualifying. Rob Andrews set to pull for Half Moon. Puts plenty of air underneath it. Not getting the best of position, but the hang time enables them to get set. Looking at about 40 to goal. Jane Wong. Back to Pentland. Everyone heading away from Pentland. Winds up the lefty backhand. Good fake. Board everyone on the sideline with that one. Howden. The Jazzle. Ray having a couple of bites at it. Steps around for the backhand break to Wong. Making good ground. Rob Andrews sticking his hand in just to make sure of that one. Jeroen and Summers. Adley's Eshays really spreading their defence out, protecting the end zone. They know that Half Moon will want to take the shot early and end the point. Weatherall. Andrews, Foreman hitting that front corner. So defence was, the Adley's Eshays defence was so worried about the crossfield shots, either the hammer or the crossfield blade, that they forgot to just look after the open under. So they're aware that all these players can throw pretty much anywhere in the end zone, and with no wind today, it's definitely going to change how teams approach today as opposed to yesterday's game. So I think Eshays recognise they give up a lot in height across the board to this team, so are prioritising guarding deep shots and cross-field shots. And just forcing Half Moon to at least have to work hard for it. So 4-1 the score. And a quick check-in around the grounds at the other quarterfinals to see how they're going. So Oblivion up 2-1 on Mr. Worldwide. Southern Hills Summit out of Adelaide. 3-2 over Adobo. And of course the other quarterfinal between Kelvin's Angels and Blob coming to you on the stream at 10 a.m. local time, which is about an hour and a half from now, so immediately after this game. It's current early start this Sunday. It's 8:30 a.m. local time. But looking like being warm weather today. It's still quite cool at the moment, probably about 14, 15 degrees, but with the sun out, we're expecting to get to about 21, 22 degrees today. Swan to Tan. Tan shapes up to throw long. Finds Phyllis. Tan. Plenty of lateral cuts happening. Tyre goes long, but that's one's cleaned up. Half Moon defense, they're just looking for just the strayest of shots and just really attacking anything aggressively on defense. Summers a bit too aware of the sideline. Rob Swan shapes up, shoots long. And you bang tie. Secures Adley's Eshays' second goal. So 4-2 the score now. This game being played at quite a pace. We're looking only about 14 and a half minutes in, with 6 goals scored already. So yesterday, if you're watching, quite a number of games had very long points, and we were lucky to see 20 goals total in a game. And of course, the support of Latrobe City Council this weekend, making this free stream possible. And they're appreciative of the support of 400 players, athletes, coaches, parents, friends, partners coming down, spending the weekend in Traralgon. Jazzle with the pool, getting it to just past the brick mark. Foreman. Lochnan. All looking deep. Foreman's gone the long shot, looking for Dorothy Lee. And Dorothy's a bit too casual with that one. Adley Tan played that beneath Lee, realising she was going to give up height. So thought keep in front and try and have a go at the lower throw. So try and hope for the lower huck that she could have a go at. But in the end, Lee's just put it down, had too long to think about it. So Eshays get a look with Raymond Chong. Picking up the disc with 64 metres to go to goal. Lots of cutting away from him. Puts the shot up looking for Jack Bray. He's got Ollie Lockton to compete with. He's going to fade away. Bray's taken it. Oh, he's done well. Players streaking through in support. And Jen Tan puts it long looking for Jazzle. And she's had to try and take that on the outer edge. It was going straight away from a difficult one to reel in. We see that catch from Bray there. Just positioned his body beautifully. Just got himself nice and early. Made sure he was catching the disc out in front of his reach. Tam putting just about 5% too much on that throw, but Lockton, Foreman. He's looking deep, sends a big wide backhand. It's very floaty. There's going to be a few underneath it. Jane Wong getting there to make a play on it. Carol Lamar chasing it down. Not sure she was the intended target, but wanted to make a play at it. Obviously Half Moon not wanting to spend too much time with their disc close to their own defensive end zone. So Eshays will get another shot at it. Pentland's going to take his time picking it up with about 62 metres to travel to goal. Naveev Tan to Bray. Pentland's heading deep. Chong. Bray working around Jazzle. Pentland getting this that rotated about 1.5 times. Strowman putting pressure on the mark there. Lockton covering Bray well. And Phillips with the run through block. She just sort of foxed that one. Sat behind Jazzle, and as soon as the throw went up, just exploded with the last few steps. Maehr. Struan. Phillips in the end zone pointing up, just saying throw it in the air, I'll take care of it. Maehr finally obliges that option. And Phillips with the comfortable goal in the end. I think some of the Eshays players realise that when it's in the air with Phillips, there's not a lot of point in competing with her in the air. Just as long as she's got position and advantage. She's more than likely to come down with it anyway, so. (5-2) the score now. So Adley's Eshays yesterday, they first game up against us Muhaha from Melbourne Uni. Won that one 15-1 pretty comfortably, and then Pink Muffy Unicorns, Monash Uni based team, 15-3. And then the top of the table clash, Blob got the better of them 15-9. Half Moon yesterday took on Cat by SCU. So Sunshine Coast, a number of their club players coming down for this tournament and connecting up with some local players. Half Moon got the better of them 15-1. And then Dragon Slayers took 5 goals. Best effort so far against Half Moon, so 15-5. And then in the crossover game, Half Moon took care of fellow Division 1 contenders Chile Chimichanga, who found themselves on the less fortunate end of the crossover after a pool play loss to Kelvin's Angels. So having to go through the hard way as Eshays get underway with a nice big gain to Phyllis 10. 10, Halden heading away, and main guy versus Summers. Summers sort of had a bit to play with there. He thought he could have a go at the upline shot to Halden, so closed in. Obviously the risk was that he left Coco main guy wide open in the end zone, and in the end the pass to Halden was weighted perfectly enough that he just got caught in no man's land. Of course, main guy said, well, if you're not going to follow me to the end zone, here we go. I think it was Phyllis Tam with that throw. You see Summers closing in but deciding, I can't make a play at that one. Didn't want to make a contest with main guy in the end, but saw that main guy had position. Not much he could do with that, potentially causing a foul, so just kept out of that play, and it's 5-3. So, of course, games here are to first to 15. But if we reach 80 minutes without either team being at 15, the score target is revised. If the margin is 3 goals or more, the game is over. But if their margin is 2 or less, we add on to the highest score and play through to that. So temperature's starting to heat up already. See players starting to ditch out, the layers on the sideline starting to get the heart rate up, move around a bit. Here's their way into today. Both these teams will have 3 games today. Rossler, Phillips, Valancourt. Turner with a nice little 1-2 play. Valancourt keeping working. Valancourt getting very busy at this point. She's put one up high and floating. There's a few players there. A couple of half-moon players could have raffled that off, but Jack Bray said, well, if neither of you want it, I'll happily have that one. Stuck on the corner. Hasn't got that easy a reset, but gets it to Pentland. Not many cutters able to get free or find that space, getting under, all well covered, so the handlers just have to bounce it back and forth. And half-men are happy just to let them go sideways. They just really want to pick things off up in the air. And Jack Bray's picked out Rob Swan deep, but Rossler saw the wind-up and took off from a player deep and got in front of Swan for that one to knock that away for a comfortable D. Andrews finds Turner, bowling zone in the middle. Thinks backhand, thinks forehand, goes a couple of options and puts it straight down the throat of Kat Phillips for her second goal. I think Raymond Chong had peeled off to have a go at that one, but the throw was right over his head. He wasn't sure whether to check the left shoulder or right shoulder. See, Rossler just got in front there, just made sure she had the straight line position at the disc. And the shot from Turner, he was unguarded, had the shot at the middle, so it's undecided backhand, forehand, what do we do? Shot the forehand. And yeah, Chong just wrong-footed there. So 6-3, the score. So 22 total teams here this weekend competing for the title. So 20 from around Victoria. We have a couple of guest teams here. We have Kunani from Tasmania, who like to come over to the mainland for some match practice on their way to the Australian Championships, and Southern Hills Summit from Adelaide also making the trek over for a bit of match practice. Kunani narrowly missed out on a quarterfinal berth and playing off in the 9th place bracket today. Whereas Southern Hills Summit were able to win their way through after a bit of a scare against Monash Uni yesterday. Monash Uni had 4-goal lead late in the game, or midway through the game, before Summit were able to peg it back by 5 goals and end up taking the win. So horizontal stack here, so they're set up almost a U stack. Plenty of space in the middle for cutters here. So they're really isolating out their women matching players. Genevieve Tan to start on the brick mark. Phyllis Tan heading lateral. Eubang tie. Tan having to go full stretch, bounces out of the fingertips. Carolyn Marr wants to get moving quickly. Foreman has to go. Taking 2 goes at it. Under plenty of pressure there from Max Halden, but of course, Foreman and Halden obviously club teammates and good friends, and I think Halden thought maybe I can have a play at this, but I think the throw sort of meant that Halden could probably have a go at it, so he's stuck the juke up and thought, let's see what happens, but Foreman takes that in comfortably and extends the lead to 7-3. So we're rolling at about 2.5 minutes per point, which is a very quick pace. General pace of the game at the national level is about 3 minutes per point. So we're sort of seeing very short offensive possessions, the turn or the goals happening within sort of 4 or 5 passes. So, of course, teams taking advantage of the perfectly still conditions. You'll be able to see our flags in the background there just not moving at all. This means that any kind of throw becomes possible on a day like today. Teams can get a bit creative with their disc movement. Pentland to feel the pull. Centres to Howden. Howden continues to stock. Stock taking a good long look upfield. Didn't have a lot of marking pressure, so could take her time. Bray. All the undercuts are really well covered there. Half Moon sort of sitting behind the players, just sort of letting them go the unders and just waiting for any kind of stray deviation from the throw, in which case they'll burst through and get the block. So in the meantime, they're just sort of happy letting the short ones happen. So Pentland's found Vic Stock, who's not sure. So she's run that down. She's run over a line. Poor Victoria. I know she's run over a line and thought, oh, I'm out of bounds, and then didn't quite realise that was the goal line. So Foreman finds Summers. Strauwen continues across to Foreman. Foreman's looking only at the end zone. Wants for someone to oblige. Finds Dorothy Lee. Perfectly weighted shot, fading away to her advantage. And Victoria Stock has noticed, if there's anyone who's paid attention to goal line so far this game, it's Stock. And she's noticed that Lee has stood out of bounds as she's caught that. And Lee perfectly happy to take Stock's perspective and say, okay, yep, if that's what you saw, then that's what's happened. Pentland. See Strauwen, he just sort of had a go at that. They're starting to really close down on these unders now. Half Moon. And there we go. Foreman gets his hand into that one. Weatherall. Finds Bill Foreman. She had both sides of the end zone to shoot at. Foreman realised he could go one way or the other. And so double back to the open side again. Eshays are so worried about the break shots or the long shots or the deep shots. They're forgetting to do the fundamental stuff of just covering the open unders. You just need to put a bit more trust in their marking pressure. You see here that, yeah, how there was a bit too much happening on that break side, and then Foreman thought, well, if no one's going to cover that under space, I'll take that. And so Half Moon take 8-3, which leads us into half. So as the teams take a break, we're going to take a break too, and we'll be back in the second half in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't get
Second half action underway here in the quarterfinals of the 2025 Victorian Mixed Ultimate Championships. Adley's Eshays getting moving. Swan's going to have to go full stretch for that one. Wants to shoot this one deep. He's got an option going deep. That's going to fade away from a target. Ashlyn Chow had the pace to really stretch the defense there, but just ran too far underneath it. And it faded away from her out of bounds. So Half Moon, his stacks set very far away from him. So goes for the leading shot. Turner goes for the leading shot around the corner, but Jazzle cleans that one up comfortably. So Swan to pick up the disc and play it in from about 16, 17 metres from goal. Looks for the backhand. Santos to tie. Waves off, brays the shot. Goes to the inside look. Not quite on line. Dorothy Lee blocks that away. Valencourt. Phillips. And she's looked at Reagan Turner, who started out behind the defence, but very comfortably ran that one down. Had Rob Andrews there at support and ends up flipping the easy score to him. See the shot there. He's just Turner's just ran straight past the defence there. Picked his own line to the disc. Didn't worry about where the defence was setting. Just went, I'm just going to go here and catch it. Took it nice and early. Didn't worry about where his feet were until he landed. And flipped it over easily to Andrews. So I'm parked here on the sideline with the teams, and I'm just listening to some of the sideline yaps. So Rob Swan has been a coach in recent years, working with a lot of the Ellipsis Open teams. So they're he's been offering feedback to them for a couple of years of play, and so now they're offering feedback to him on him being back on the field, which, as we all know, there's feedback as a gift. There's no positive or negative feedback. It's just feedback. So all good-natured fun. So 9-3 the score now to Half Moon. Plenty of hang time in that pool. Summers and Foreman streaking down to get early pressure on the throws. Running with the match set. Andrews coming in, but Phyllis Town gets that one ahead of Andrews, who's then left to play it free. Max Howard gets some easy yards. Runs a little give-go movement with Pentland. Foreman can't find his way in. Hammer shot goes over the top from Pentland and finds Coco Mangai. Great offensive movement there from Adley's Eshays after that early bid from Andrews. He pulled out of the bid early. Knew he couldn't do it without fouling, so decided to just play it safe instead. And then Howden and Pentland took the easy yards as they were unguarded. And in the meantime, while the attention was on the give-go movement, Mangai has absolutely busted to the end zone and left himself open for the crossfield hammer shot from Pentland. So 9-4 the score, and of course we're powered by Ulti-Score this weekend with live score updates happening around the grounds. If you search Ultimate Victoria Ulti-Score, you can follow the action along at home. But looking at around the grounds quarterfinals, Oblivion are up 7-4 over Mr. Worldwide. Adobo and Southern Hills Summit 7-all currently. Of course, the other quarterfinal coming to you on Ulti TV in about an hour's time between Kelvin's Angels and Blob. In the meantime, down in the 19 to 22 semis, AWolf are up 10-2 over Pink Muffy Unicorns. Aubrey Wodonga seeking out their first win for the weekend. Valancourt. Maehr. Very fast disc move through the middle again. Adley's Eshays prioritising guarding the break side in the end zone, forgetting to cover the open side. So Summers finds Phillips. Phillips with the around backhand, finding Molly Valancourt in the back corner with relatively comfortable ease in the end there. They've started to sag back a lot, the Eshays, on the mark. They're not really putting any pressure on the throwers anymore because they're so worried about dropping back, and it's just allowing the throwers to do whatever they want. It'll be, if they've got any hope of any sort of stray throws and turns, I think they need to actually put pressure on the thrower, force the throwers to actually, you know, work a bit harder, I guess, for their throwing choices and hopefully get a stray one. Sort of hope we can get complacent offense or a loose throw, but at the moment with no pressure at all on the thrower, that's just not going to happen. So Half Moon on defense again. Anna Rossler getting them good field position with his pull. Jane Wong, Jasper Pentland. Stock with a good lateral cut. Not much upfield movement for her. Heads back to Wong. Rossler looking to peel off, leaving Tan open. Wong and Pentland. They're stretched in the field now. The cutters having to do a lot of work. Pentland over the top to Genevieve Tan. Tan finds main guy. Stock streaking across the field. Picks it up off her shoelaces. Moving a lot better now. Tan. Shoots over the top looking for Raymond Chong, but pretty ambitious throw. And Reagan Turner, he sort of thought, oh, that's not going to land in, but thought, oh, hang on, I'm going to need to make a play of this. So got across to Raymond Chong. Knocked that away, and he'll bring it in. 64 from goal, pinned in the corner. Leading go fetch pass to Molly Valancourt. Good yards to Rossler. The main guys come peeled off. Saw that the throw was going to come to Eva Weatherall and picked that off nice and comfortably. Wong goes over the top. Main guy gets up high. About 4 metres from the end zone. Backwards to Chong. And pick has been called in the stack. A lot more activity starting to happen downfield now, so Half Moon defenders are now closely matched on their players, knowing that they've got end zone to cover. And Victoria Stock found some space. Got herself open. But the throw from Tam was just 1% too quick for her. And Half Moon get possession again. Huge layup bid there from Eva Weatherall. Not quite on the goal. Flips it up over the top to Turner. And Half Moon's 10th goal. So Eshays offense looking a lot smoother and better there. Starting to really work the defense around rather than just hoping to get one or two stray open cuts, and was putting in the repeat efforts, so going for the second cut, the third cut each time there, eventually finding space. And of course the handlers just being patient, taking their time. They realise that even the slightest deviation from their intended throw is going to get picked off, so really only taking the certain safe shots. So Half Moon with a 6-goal margin now. Of course, the semi-finals happening later this morning at 11:40. We're bringing you the other side of the bracket. Semi-final live on Ulti TV. Halden, great down the line, cuts a tie. Huge gainer. All the cutters have sort of turned their back on him as they go for their second effort. This time Foreman knew that upline throw was going, got there nice and early. He's taking the shot, looking for Rob Andrews. That's going to drift. And Andrews gone. And everyone's looking around going, what's happened there? And I saw a couple of hands go up in the air, which is a signal for a goal. And looks like the goal's been paid. Great body awareness by Andrew. He just sort of checked where the cone was as he was running, and so had a good idea of where he was going to end up. And so I thought, right, I think I've got a good hold on where the line is here, so just went up, caught, got his feet down, then worried about where he was. So he's done well to control the outcome of that one. So Eshays will now be looking ahead. They're looking towards the Australian Ultimate Championships Division 2, also happening in Queensland in November. They're preparing themselves for that, but getting themselves match fit against a higher quality opponent. These kind of games help teams iron out the kinks in their game. So what kinds of things are we getting away with at lower levels that just aren't going to cut it in the competitive game? So I'll have some good takeaways from this game. Great inside shot to Tan, Wong to Pentland. He's got Foreman and main guy deep, and they were hoping to go 1v1, but Pentland didn't pull the shot up. Instead, he runs a give go. Main guy's just hovering in the end zone. Foreman there just waiting for Pentland to put it up. You can see at the back there. Instead, Stock finds space under. No one's attacking the front corner, so she retreats back. Chong, Bray across to Tan. Tan's got Wong, who's not making a solid cut. She's just clearing space. This time the hammer shot goes up. And main guy, he's gone early. Foreman's gone early. Main guy's trying to knock it back in bounds. And in the end, it'll be a turnover. Of course, main guy and Foreman, clubmates in the open season, both playing on Ellipsis. Both keen to sort of go head-to-head. Get bragging rights for early in the season. Andrews got to this centre field. He's got 2v3 deep, puts the shot up anyway, looking for Phillips. Had to stretch fully. Again, probably 5% too much on that throw. And Eshays get another look at offense, having the full 64 metres to progress. Pentland sends the backhand bomb up. It's Foreman versus Main Guy. Main Guy's front position goes up. Foreman knew he was out of position, so just stops back. Victoria Stock streaking deep into the end zone. Put the afterburners on and gets her name on the scorecard. Beautifully weighted shot by Main Guy. Just out to the advantage of Stock. Shares had to maintain speed and meet the disc along the way. 12-5 the score. Now, the competitive edge has definitely gone out of this game, but teams are looking for just those little victories where they can. That's why you see Main Guy wanting to go one-on-one with Foreman. Phyllis Tan, Victoria Stock wanting to just move the disc well and get open against highly rated opponents. So Eshays are just finding those little victories wherever they can for the rest of this game. They're not just going to run out the game and give up, but as I said before, they're looking towards a Division 2 National Championships later in this year. So testing themselves out now, seeing what's what. And we'll take this momentum into the 5 to 8 bracket later today. So 50 minutes into the game, we're 17 goals in. Still rocking about that 2.5 minutes per point. So still, overall, a pretty fast-paced game. Maehr, Weatherall. Maehr continues across. Puts a forehand bomb up. Looking for Regan Turner. Takes that comfortably very high under double coverage. And while we talk about, I think Eshays having a bit of a chuckle. They realise not a whole lot they could do about that one with such crisp throws to the break side. But obviously Half Moon, well, they're getting through this weekend reasonably unchallenged so far. They've got their eye on winning a second consecutive national championship. So we'll probably use today to get some quality reps in. And again, just work out what's working well. Where are those little gaps that we're being challenged on? And using those takeaways to improve their game even more. So you can see offensively, they're just really working on creative use of space, and then just really the Cutters really just back their throwers in. They don't always collapse under or get close. They really spread out the field, force the defense to defend the entire width and the length of the field. And they take those shots. They're so confident in taking those shots on as throwers that just the Cutters can be confident in moving wherever they feel space is available. Chong, Genevieve Tan, Main Guy, Chong. Now Cutter's heading away from him. Jazzle found the space under, but again that stray throw just got cleaned up by Phillips comfortably. Valancourt, shot deep to Phillips. Phillips just jogs that one in, had a couple closing in on her, but just couldn't have asked for better weight on that throw from Willie Valancourt. She didn't have a lot of pressure on her. Just steadied her base, 2 feet on the ground. Nice, clean, straight shot down the middle to go 14-5. So one more goal left for Half Moon to close this out. So Eshays, they probably want to try and get one more on the board so that they can then say that they've got the highest score against Half Moon so far. Dragon Slayer's got 5 off them yesterday, so they can at least take a lead in something. So I'd expect them to, the Eshays, to probably take a shot maybe 3 or 4 passes in just as soon as they can get power position. So probably a main guy, maybe Stock, maybe Felix heading towards the end zone. Because at least that would draw some of the tall timber like Andrews, Weatherall, Summers out of the cutting space. And then if the long shot's not on, there should be an undercut available from someone. So I'm just keeping an eye on Rob Swan. He's been very, very chatty on this line. I think they'll be setting up something. As Tien and Summers sends the pull up, it's going to give them great field position to start this point deep in their own end zone. Bray to Wong, gets it back. Centers to Bray. Swan's got it now. Stock heading deep. Ty. Swan getting a bit physical with Andrews. Andrews happy to let him have that little victory. Phyllis Tan. Handler's getting closely guarded now. Bray. Phyllis Tan getting busy. Stock finding the other space. She's got main guy versus Summers deep. She's got Eubang Ty. He's going to get it, reel it in, right on the doorstep now. Stock attacks the front corner, draws a couple of defenders with her. Swan now getting busy. And he's got the goal. He's got himself his first goal of the tournament. And Eshays put one more on the board. So 14-6 the score now. That was terrific offensive movement there from the Eshays. And so Half Moon will be on offense. Again, I'd expect a pretty early shot. I think they just want to close this one out. So probably a Valancourt or Lockton looking for, or maybe even Maehr looking for Andrews. Probably Turner. Maybe Foreman. So again, we'll see if Eshays, if they sag off and protect the end zone, or, as I said before, I want to see them put some pressure around the thrower, at least have them think about their shots. Valancourt, Andrews. Yeah, so they're really sagging off guarding the end zone. Valancourt's got the shot looking for Rossler. Maher's going to go up. She's got Rossler one out in the end zone, puts it across, and puts in the 15th goal to close out the quarterfinal and book themselves a spot in the semi-finals later on this morning. So all smiles and all laughs, very friendly and fun game, even though it was a quarterfinal. But once the competitive element went out of it early on, both teams just decided to still play their best, see what they could get out of this game, and keep their eyes on the prize for what they're both aiming for later in the season. Half Moon wanting to defend their national title, and Adley's Eshays in their first season, club season together, heading towards the Division 2 titles in November in Brisbane. So that'll do us for the first game. The next game, going to be another quarterfinal. Kelvin's Angels versus Blood. That's going to come to you live and free via Ulti TV at 10 a.m. local time, which is about 40 minutes from now. Hope you can join us then. Simon Talbot here signing off.
For me, coming to Latrobe City is
about coming together.
It's all about contrast. It's nature, national parks. It's the region's history.
A place where stories
And landscapes,
collide.
it's completely unique.
Change is happening all around you.
you can really see that.
It's a place where
You come away thinking,
I tried something new.
Wow, that was something.
I would never have expected that.
I discovered something different. Latrobe City, it's where
It
All comes together.
Alti.tv.